Immerse yourself in the profound insights offered by Father Chuck Belmonte as he delves into daily reflections on various gospel passages from the Bible.
May 20th, Tuesday. Can the Pope be wrong? Jesus Christ promised a specific authority over the Church to St. Peter. Among the apostles, Peter received a very special mission and authority. It is also a service, the Petrine ministry, that was directly passed on to his successors. Christ, the living stone, 1 Peter 2:4, assured his church, built upon Peter, victory over the powers of death. Peter, Jesus said, will have the mission of guarding the faith and confirming his brothers in the same faith. Thus, Peter's successor, the Pope, is the visible head of the Church and her universal government. He is the Vicar of Christ on earth. He is also the perpetual and visible source and foundation of the unity of the Church, both among the bishops and among all the faithful. By his primacy, the Roman Pontiff has several proper and exclusive prerogatives. He feeds, rules, and governs the entire universal Church. His authority is also direct over each of the faithful. He is the visible source of unity. He is also the visible head of the Church of Rome as a particular church. The Catholic Church affirms the doctrine of papal infallibility under specific conditions. This means that the Pope is protected from error when he speaks definitively on matters of faith and morals as the supreme pastor and teacher of the Church. However, the Pope is not infallible in everything he may say or do. Conditions for papal infallibility. Subject matter. The Pope must be speaking on a matter of faith or morals capacity. He must be speaking in his official capacity as the supreme pastor and teacher of the Church, not as a private individual or theologian. Intention. It must be clear that he intends to teach with the fullness and finality of his supreme apostolic authority, defining a doctrine in an absolutely final and irrevocable way. Binding the whole Church. The Pope must clearly intend to bind the whole Church to accept the teaching. How is infallibility exercised? When the Pope speaks ex cathedra, from the chair, meaning when, in the exercise of his office as pastor and teacher of all Christians, he defines, by his supreme apostolic authority, a doctrine of faith or morals to be held by the whole Church. Such definitions are irreformable of their own nature. The Second Vatican Council's Lumen Gentium explains that the infallibility promised to the Church also resides in the body of bishops when, together with Peter's successor, they exercise the supreme magisterium, especially in an ecumenical council. Limits of infallibility. Infallibility does not mean the Pope is incapable of sinning, that would be impeccability, or that he receives divine inspiration for every utterance. Not every statement or action by the Pope is considered infallible. It applies only to his ex cathedra teaching. Other teachings of the Pope must be received with due respect. No doctrine is understood as defined infallibly unless this is manifestly evident. The Pope's ex cathedra teaching does not need ratification by the Church to be infallible. The International Theological Commission notes that papal definitions in themselves and not in virtue of the consensus of the Church are infallible. This doesn't make the consensus of the Church superfluous, but affirms the authority belonging to the Pope by his specific ministry.